Economy class on a long-haul flight is 10 hours in a seat designed for 6. Most passengers board prepared for discomfort and then make 7 specific mistakes that guarantee they arrive feeling worse than when they left. The passengers who step off a 10-hour economy flight looking functional are not lucky. They are not wealthier. They made different choices that any passenger can make regardless of ticket class or seat assignment. In the next 8 minutes, I'll walk you through the 7 mistakes that turn a manageable long-haul flight into a miserable one and the exact adjustments that make economy survivable. A long-haul economy flight compresses every aspect of comfort, legroom, recline, personal space, air quality, and sleep conditions. The cabin is designed for efficiency, not comfort. But the passengers who arrive miserable are almost always victims of their own choices on top of the cabin's limitations. The 7 mistakes below are the ones that compound the discomfort of economy into something genuinely destructive. Eliminating them does not make economy luxurious, it makes it survivable. Let's get into it. Mistake 1. Overpacking your under-seat space, the space under the seat in front of you, is the only area you control on an economy flight. It is roughly 10 inches deep. Most passengers fill it with a full-size backpack, a tote, a shopping bag, and a jacket, eliminating any ability to stretch their legs, shift position, or access their essentials without contorting. The move: use a slim, structured personal item that fits under the seat without consuming the full depth of the space. Pack only essentials in it: medication, phone charger, earplugs, eye mask, and a small snack. Your main carry-on goes overhead. The under-seat space is for your legs and your immediate access items. When it is full, your legs have nowhere to go for 10 hours. Mistake 2. Not bringing your own food on a flight without full meal service. Long-haul flights on full-service carriers typically provide meal service. Long-haul flights on budget carriers, domestic long hauls, and many carriers in 2026 that have cut meal service to reduce costs may offer nothing more than a small snack box and a drink. The passengers who arrive hungry, irritable, and low energy on a 10-hour flight are almost always the ones who assume the airline would feed them adequately. The move: pack your own meal. A sandwich, a protein bar, trail mix, and a piece of fruit fit in your personal item and provide reliable nutrition for the entire flight. Airline food timing is unpredictable. Your own food is available whenever you need it. Mistake 3. Choosing the middle seat without understanding its costs on a long-haul flight. The middle seat is not merely less comfortable, it is actively hostile to rest. You have no wall to lean against. You share 2 armrests with passengers who may or may not respect them. You will be climbed over at least twice by the aisle passenger for lavatory visits, and your personal space is compressed from both sides simultaneously. The move: when booking, select the window seat for sleep advantage or the aisle seat for movement advantage. If you are already in a middle seat, set a seat alert on your airline app. Seats open constantly in the final 24 hours. Especially after upgrades clear. The middle seat on a short flight is manageable. The middle seat on a 10-hour flight is punishment. Mistake 4. Sitting for the entire flight without moving. Now, here's something most economy passengers genuinely don't think about, and it is the mistake that has consequences beyond just feeling stiff. Sitting in a cramped economy seat for 8 to 10 hours without movement slows blood circulation in your legs. On shorter flights, this causes stiffness. On long-haul flights, it increases the risk of deep vein thrombosis, blood clots that form in the deep veins of the legs and can become dangerous if they travel to the lungs. The risk is low for most healthy travelers, but it is real, and it is highest on flights over 6 hours in cramped seating where movement is restricted. The move: stand up and walk the aisle at least once every 90 minutes. Simple calf raises and ankle rotations while seated improve circulation between walks. Compression socks reduce the risk further. They are not a luxury item on a long-haul flight. They are a medical precaution. Movement is not optional on a flight this long, it is a health requirement. Mistake 5. Using the airline blanket as your only temperature control. Airline blankets are thin, synthetic, and designed for cost efficiency, not insulation. Economy cabins fluctuate between too cold after departure and too warm mid-flight as body heat accumulates in a packed space. Passengers who rely on a single airline blanket plus one clothing layer cannot adjust. They are either shivering or sweating for hours. The move: dress in layers. A zip-up hoodie, a breathable base layer, and socks give you 3 adjustable levels. The hoodie zips up for warmth and opens for ventilation. The base layer breathes. The socks cover the cold cabin floor. You need to be able to add or remove a layer without standing up or opening a bag overhead. The airline blanket is a supplement. Your clothing is the system. Mistake 6. Not preparing for the dry cabin air. Cabin air at cruising altitude has roughly 10 to 20% humidity, drier than most deserts. Over a 10-hour flight, This causes progressive dehydration, dry skin, chapped lips, scratchy throat, dry eyes, and reduced cognitive function. Most passengers drink water only when the cart comes by roughly 1 small cup every 2 to 3 hours. That is less than half the minimum intake needed. The move. Bring an empty water bottle through security and fill it before boarding. Drink at least 8 ounces per hour of flight time. Apply lip balm before departure and every 3 hours. Use moisturizer on hands and face. If you wear contacts, switch to glasses for long-haul flights. Dry cabin air makes contacts uncomfortable after 4 hours. Hydration is not comfort on a long-haul flight. It is function. Mistake 7. Boarding without a sleep kit planned for economy conditions. The last mistake is not bringing any single item. It is the failure to assemble a sleep kit designed for economy conditions where light, noise, and head instability are all working against you simultaneously. The passengers who sleep on long-haul economy flights are not naturally better sleepers. They created the conditions. The minimum viable sleep kit for economy, an eye mask that blocks all light, earplugs or noise-canceling headphones, and a neck pillow with lateral support. That combination addresses the 3 sleep disruptors in economy cabin: lighting from windows and screens, engine noise and passenger sounds, and head instability from seats that do not support lateral positioning. Without it, you are fighting 3 problems with 0 tools. With it, you are engineering the closest thing to rest that economy allows. Economy class on a long-haul flight will never be comfortable, but it does not have to be miserable. The passengers who arrive destroyed and the passengers who arrive functional are in the same cabin, in the same seats, paying the same fare. The difference is 7 choices. Protect your underseat space. Bring your own food. Avoid the middle seat. Move every 90 minutes. Layer your clothing. Hydrate proactively. And assemble a sleep kit that addresses economy's 3 sleep disruptors. If you're realizing that most of what makes a long flight unbearable is just information no one ever gave you, hit subscribe. Every week on Airwise HQ, we break down exactly how air travel works so you can fly smarter every single time. See you on the next one. Drop a comment below what's the longest economy flight you've ever taken, and where were you flying? I'd love to know.